here we have all of this following now. What do we do with it? We had both lost a parent to cancer, and with the foundation, it was our hope that we could help bring some joy to the journey of those families that were supporting a loved one going through the treatment.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to Go Live. I'm your host, Joshua Scott. Guys, I've got Dr. Rich Constantine with me here today. Say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, to the live audience here. Those of you who are jumping on, feel free to jump in with some questions here that come up as we're going. Hey man, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. What else am I going to be doing?
Well, it's like, yes, but it's also like everybody's, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I've just been so busy and I know everybody else has been too. I mean, it's kind of been weird. I thought we were going into this like extended spring break and, get the yard work done, all these house projects, and that's just been nonstop. How have you guys been the last couple of weeks?
It's the same. We've definitely been busy, but the thing that's funny is we're busy with all the stuff that we always put off because we don't want to do it to begin with.
Yeah.
So that's been what's been keeping us busy.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, you guys, you own a practice. I'm assuming like everybody else, 3 weeks ago, you guys shut your doors. How has that been? How's that affecting you? You still seeing patients at all?
On a very limited basis, emergencies only. We're really just seeing patients that have, broken teeth, infections, tooth pain, anything that we can do to help keep people out of the emergency room. So emergent care only. It's just the safest thing to do right now with all the concerns and, just trying to adhere to the CDC, the state, the ADA, all of those things to do our part and do what we can to help limit the spread as long as it's a threat, which it'd feel a lot better if we just knew, an end to
I know.
This might be. I
know. When they extended everything through May 1st, I was like, dang, it's going to be a little while here, but I'm not even sure that's the end. Looks like we could be getting to the, whatever they're calling the apex here this week or next, and maybe a decline, but it's going to be the question of how soon are they going to let everybody get back into stuff once it starts declining, because we don't want it to spike again. So,
yeah, our state we were one of the last states to do it, I think, but the governor just issued a work or home type of mandate. So the problem is, I don't know what the weather's like in Columbus, but, the sun's out here, it's warm. It just feels like you want to be out doing stuff,
Yeah. We keep having this like alternating. Like yesterday was beautiful. It was 68 degrees, sunny, and then today it's raining. But on those days when it's beautiful, man, it's like Ohio just loses its mind. Like everybody's outside, because we've been waiting all winter, man. So, just lots of yard work this weekend and all that. What have you guys been from the practice standpoint? What have you been doing the last couple of weeks? Have you been looking at this like an opportunity of what can we get done in the practice? Have there's been like team training? Like what's been kind of the approach?
Yeah, we did a little bit of team training, and then we've had a few people in to do some administrative work the last several days, just trying to get caught up and organized. I think that's what a lot of people are just doing. It's going to be hard when you're out this long to kind of fall out of the routine, but we're just trying to keep in touch with everyone, keep everyone's spirits up, and so far it seems like everybody's doing just fine.
Yeah, good. Well, look, man, I wanted to have you on because a couple of reasons. I mean, just met you guys at the end of last year. I mean, we actually met officially. I think it was at Smiles at Sea. You were at Dentistry's Got Talent. And I think you did a podcast with Elijah on stage. I wasn't there for that. Mm-hmm. And I mean, those like Dentistry's Got Talent days, they're so long, like so packed. At some point you're like, I think I was probably at the gym. I was like, I got to just get out of here. Something. And then Smiles at Sea, we met there and got to know you guys a little bit. I know one morning we weren't working out together, but me, you, and Elijah were in there for sure. Yeah. Oh, dude, you were trying to jump rope on the deck of the cruise.
Yeah, that didn't work out so good.
Right. With all the winds.
Little windy. Yeah.
That was funny. I remember that. But tell these guys, because my audience probably isn't as familiar with you as much. But last year, obviously something changed. The whole kind of this dance of the Drake song "In Your Feelings." I want to go back to that, and I know this isn't like you don't always love talking about this, but like take us back there to that moment and just kind of set it up and what was going through your head and why did you even get into that, and then like what happens.
Yeah, so the real quick version is when the In My Feelings challenge was out, the girls in my office kept trying to get me to do it, and there was no way I was going to do it in front of them. So I just waited till they went to lunch one day, and I set up my camera, or my phone actually, and I just filmed myself doing it after watching on YouTube how to do it. And I asked them if I did all right, and they said I did. So they posted it on our Facebook page, and it just kind of took off out of nowhere. I woke up the next morning and I had all these phone calls and texts on my phone. And I just never could have expected that type of reaction over something so silly.
Yeah. So when did you post it to your personal account or the practice page?
Well, at the time, all I really had was I had a personal page and a practice page. And we posted it to the practice page, but we also posted it I think, to a dental hygienist page. And I think the combination of the two, it got legs and took off.
Yeah, that's crazy. So now were you, are you a big Drake fan?
I do like Drake's music. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I'm like, of course, man. I'm like the In Your Feelings sounds like I'm a huge Drake fan. You were making fun of me about this.
I was gonna, yeah.
A couple of weeks ago.
Turn it.
Yeah. Wait, cause
you took a picture one day of yourself doing live, and I saw you had a portrait of Drake in your room.
I know, and I was like, who doesn't?
Now that I have a different view of your room, I need to ask you, have you always color coordinated your books?
Oh, man. Oh. Yeah, no, this was, we moved about 2.5 years ago. And yeah, so I mean, I did it then, but it's a real rough coordination, but it just kind of goes white over to, to black. But yeah, it's fun, and I've got windows here, so it kind of like people get a visual of it. But yeah, it makes finding books a little tough because there's like no order to it. So a lot of times I'm on my phone, like Google image. I'm like, what is that book? What color is it? Oh, it's yellow. Okay, yeah. So it's there. Oh man. So then what happened from there? I mean, obviously it kind of blows up. Was that just it?
Yeah, at first, we really didn't know what. We're like, here we have all of this following now. What do we do with it? And the more we talk, we're not really attention-seeking people. When we have free time, it's usually a small group of people, or we're just hanging out at home with each other. But we're like, you have to do something good with this. So the first thing that we thought of was we had both lost a parent to cancer within a year of each other when we first moved down here to South Carolina. So we started a foundation, and it was called Smile on Cancer. And with the foundation, it was our hope that we could help bring some joy to the journey of those families that were supporting a loved one going through the treatment.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing that we tried to set up, so that anything that we did moving forward, we could go ahead and contribute to that to support a good cause. And it's worked out really, really well. And then in addition to that, when you get that amount of attention, it takes a while to get used to that if that's not your personality. And that, on top of being a practice owner, managing a team, and being in a profession that can be stressful, and just like any type of medical professional, you really gotta get into a routine where you're working on yourself and managing stress and staying healthy and things like that. So through the routines that I developed and habits that I've continued to use, I started sharing those with others, and that opened up a opportunity to speak, which is something that I had wanted to do, or I had thought of doing, just so I could help, help others manage the same type of daily stress that they're under and stay healthy. Because I feel like so many of us, we get so wrapped up in our businesses or our professions that it doesn't take long for us to forget that we need to take care of ourselves, because we're always taking care of other people.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I love that, because what was really apparent from me just from meeting you was, if all you see is that Instagram video of you dancing, like it looks like, I don't know, it looks like you've got it all together. Like you're this really extroverted, like outgoing personality. Like you did it to get the attention. Like you knew the whole time this thing was going to blow up. Like it's all this like master, like calculated plan. But yeah, I know when I talk to you, I mean, just super, super good dude, like humble. All that attention makes you feel, like a little, you're kind of like a little awkward with it. Like, dude, I don't know. Do people ever, and I'm sure other people have that perception too. So like, how does that play out in public? And like when you're speaking, are people like, are you going to dance? Like,
yeah, it goes two different ways. One, the way that I like that it goes is when they meet me and they're like, wow, you're really, you're soft-spoken, you're humble, you're not what I thought you'd be after seeing that video. And that's refreshing to hear, because that's kind of how I want people to know me for me, not just for some dance. But then there's also the people that they're like, hey, you need to get out there and dance. What do you mean you're not going to dance? You have to. You put that video on there. You set yourself up for it. You have to do it. And yeah. That's super uncomfortable to do that, especially when there's no music playing.
Right. Dance.
Yeah, dance. But I think kind of some of that goes back to I'm an only child. And when you're an only child, you spend half the time wanting to fit in and half the time wanting to stand out.
Yeah.
But you don't want to stand out too much, because you don't have any siblings. So you want to have a group that you fit in with, and I think that carries on through life in some way for some people. I know it does for me.
Yeah. No, that's a great way to say it. Because man, I think of the same thing too. I'm like, if I got that much attention on something, it would definitely make me feel a little awkward and insecure. But at the same time, it's like you understand the value of getting attention. And I think that was some of our first conversations. Was I was almost like, what do you guys want to do with this? Like, you've been given a moment, you've been given an opportunity. Like, and just knowing you, it's like you're not going to use it just for self-interest. Like you're thoughtful. Like you've got some things you want to do. So it's like, what's next?
Well, that was another thing, because and this is something I speak on is, sometimes things just happen. They just kind of fall to you. And I had spent my whole life either working on athletics or, academics, one of the two things. And once my athletic career was over, all my focus was on becoming the best businessman and best dentist that I could be. And this happens, and I'm like, I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't working on this. Do I take it and run with it? But what do I do with it? It was very confusing.
Yeah. Gosh, I can imagine. There's a few people jumped online. Matt Still says, "What's up, guys?" He says, "China Labs are back." Do you know Matt?
Yeah.
China Labs are back up to 75% operational. That's a good sign. Ariel says, "I'd hate that. Haha. I love that you address people asking you for the thing that made you famous. It's more well-rounded than that." And then Matt again says, "Definitely one of the most humble guys I know." So
thanks, Matt.
Giving you some love there. Yeah, I think when it was funny because Smiles at Sea, you get introduced as the dancing dentist sometimes. Is that pretty common, or?
If they ask me,
okay.
No.
Okay.
If they just do it, yeah. But I roll with it, man. It's not a big deal anymore. You gotta accept it for what it is, man.
Yeah. Well, I think because Elijah on Smiles at Sea was like, do not ask him to dance. Like he just took it right off the table. But it was also cool too, because it gave you a chance to just like to speak and to address the crowd. And then like you and I were at the Jumpstart conference earlier in January. And so I don't know, man, there was a couple things that were really cool with that is you spoke there and you kind of embraced the dance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I didn't think you were going to do that at all. And you came out and you're like, I know what everybody's thinking. You want me to dance. And everybody's like, yeah. And then you played the song and busted it out. So like what?
It's kind of like, for me, this is it's nothing like it, but similar a little bit, I guess, is when Eminem and 8 Mile, he knows that they're going to rip on him for all that stuff. So he just comes out and his rap and he starts with all the things that they could say about it.
Yeah.
And then it's over. Like the guy didn't have anything left.
Yeah. Oh, I love that analogy. That surprised me. I think Trish, I don't even think she knew, right? Later, she was like, I didn't know you were going to do that.
No, I didn't. She didn't know anything. The first time that she heard the talk was on stage. Okay. And that was on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's this really kind of crazy space because I think you're right. If you don't do it, or if you don't address it, at least, I think people are always wondering like, well, maybe he's going to close with it. Maybe he's going to whatever. But what I saw in that situation was a couple of things. Is number one, you just got it out of the way. Everybody had a good laugh, which especially being a communicator, that type of laughing and just connection just really helps the rest of your talk. But just also saw you embrace like some vulnerability there. Cause I think you even came out of it and were like, I don't like necessarily that or being known for that.
Yeah. Well, I guess only being known for that is more the scenario.
Yeah.
But to be honest, man, I have met the one by far the thing that has been the best is the people that I've met through all this. Some of the opportunities I've had, the people that I've met, the relationships I now have. You can't put a price on that. It definitely, I would never change anything.
Yeah. What have been some of the highlights in the last year or so from that for you?
Probably the main highlight was getting the chance to go out to LA and be on the Steve Harvey show. That was really cool. Those first couple of weeks after the dance were just wild. I was doing a lot of Zoom interviews, on a lot of morning shows. That was fun. Especially with my family being in Pennsylvania and me being in South Carolina, just having them watch and see how all that went. But really, I wasn't that involved with the dental community prior to it. I just kind of always stayed, in my own show and with my head down, working on the practice and my skills and everything. And the people that I've met has opened up a whole new world as far as being in the group with a lot of the dental influencers and attending conferences. It's a great icebreaker for meeting people, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure like this is also, it was creating speaking opportunities for you. Did you have a lot of those through this next couple months that were canceled?
Yeah, we had a few of them. I'm more of a toe dipper than I am a jumping in the pool kind of person. So we were selective in the opportunities that we did take on, just because I wanted to make my talk as good as I could make it before I went out and started doing it regularly. Yeah. A few of the things that we had planned have been delayed or canceled.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything on your guys' schedule this year, the rest of this year, that you're really looking forward to as far as speaking?
Nothing as far as speaking right now. Yeah. The only thing I really hope stays on the schedule is we did have a vacation planned in June, but
I don't know, man. It sounds like June could be your most productive month ever at the practice.
This isn't the type of vacation I wanted.
Yeah. So one of the things I know you guys, you've been trying to draw or kind of using this to pivot into speaking. What is it that, have you thought of yourself as a speaker before, or was that something that kind of came through this?
It's something that came through it, more so because the more people I talk to, the more they validated through conversation, I guess, that, I had some good things to share. And through all of this, I think that, Trish and I have been able to really have our eyes open to how good it feels when you're helping somebody in some way. And to have now multiple ways of doing that, it's a really cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah. When you speak, what's your main topic? Like, as you started to kind of work through this, what are you hoping to get across to people?
My message is a lot on the importance of stress management throughout life, and taking care of yourself, both mentally and physically. So both mental and physical health. And I think that, the working out and the eating right is something we all know that is beneficial, especially if you come from an athletic background. You know that that's what you're supposed to do. But the mental aspect of it, living in the moment, not dwelling on the past or having laser focus on the future, that you miss out on the opportunities of the present. I think that's a huge obstacle for people, especially when life gets busy and you have a lot of responsibility. You forget about, taking care of those emotions. So a lot of what I talk about is habits and daily practices that I use to help keep me in the present and enjoying the journey, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can imagine, and kind of one of the reasons I even wanted to talk with you is because I can imagine that this period of time right now could maybe be testing some of that, or putting you to the test as far as stress management and mental clarity. What are you doing personally through this time?
So it's been a struggle because I've always been a gym rat.
Yeah.
And working out at home has proven difficult. We have a pull-up bar and some stall mats at home that we can do plyometrics on, and we have some lighter dumbbells, and we live in a one street neighborhood where it's really easy to walk or run. So what we've tried to do, and it's a team effort between Trish and I and Vito, our dog, is try to get some cardio in the morning and maybe a HIIT workout in later in the afternoon, just to keep our heads clear. And then, we try to tackle a few things business-wise at the practice each day, try to make it a normal work day if we can. And then at night, it's just about spending time with each other, winding down. There's a couple supplements that I take at night to help me to relax, that I plan on sharing with people here in the near future. But just taking that time to decompress and relax, man. It's so important to get a good night's sleep like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to ask if you guys had a gym there. But I don't know if I actually looked at getting like a rig, delivered for like the basement, get a bar and some stuff, but like, I don't know, it's like 2 months out on getting some of that stuff delivered. It's crazy. I think everybody's got the same idea.
I love a lot of that rogue stuff. Especially how the ones that kind of fold up and they don't take up that much space.
Yeah.
But I also get a little bit concerned about, like, I don't want to decide it's a heavy squat or clean day and then Trish come home to find me trapped under some weight. Thought I could do it. Wouldn't happen.
Oh man, I know. I'm a CrossFit guy, and so that's they've been sending daily exercises, but honestly, it's like I found one of the beams in my basement I could do pull-ups on. That's been helpful. I've just been I don't know, the running right now has been good, just getting out. I think the combination of being outside, running, being by myself, clearing my head, it's probably the
Mhm.
mental like part of that that's been the best. And then just like, I don't know, man, just getting down, doing like 150 push-ups, like every day, just kind of increasing that, just, stupid stuff. But
I did a squat day the other day, and I'm still paying for it, like getting in and out of my car. Um, the bad part about all this is there's been so much advertising for takeout and pickup food. I've probably eaten more takeout the past couple of weeks than I have in a year. Just because, like, it's something to, it's something to get out and do, even though you're not really doing anything other than getting in your car and driving through somewhere, or
yeah,
running to pick it up. But I have not stuck to the routine diet.
yeah. Well, in all fairness, that's probably the hardest part, right? Like you're at the end of the day. I mean, especially the first couple of weeks, days were there was like a mental, emotional stress. Like it wasn't necessarily a physical stress of I worked hard this week, but it was like, I don't know. I remember at 4 or 5 o'clock just being like, I have to stop. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And so then I think just eating, not making smarter decisions, eating then become a huge deal. But I want to actually talk to you about diet because are you vegetarian? Is that still a thing? Was that?
Well, I've tried a lot of different things, like a lot of people have, but a few years ago, I was talking to someone about, how in any type of medical profession, you don't do treatment on a patient just because the patient thinks they need something. You use information to diagnose why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like so often we just jump into a diet because somebody else had success with it. So what I finally did is I had a full blood panel done to look at a few different things, and meeting with sitting down with the doctor and going through everything, we kind of came up with some things that we saw that, you know, can help predict what foods you'll respond to best with, what you'll feel best eating. And it just so happened that, a lot of the things that showed up in my blood work, it's recommended that for me, my meat intake is limited, which was crushing for me because for so long I had tried, doing keto, the high fat,
Yeah.
limited protein, but very like zero carbs. And I thought I was doing a good thing, but I just didn't know why I never felt right. And that was why.
Yeah.
And the more I went towards vegetarian / pescatarian, the better I've felt. But man, it was almost like I have a cousin that raises cattle. So it was almost like embarrassing to tell him that, hey man, I don't really eat red meat anymore. Very little chicken. And he's like, what are you talking about? But I mean, I still do every once in a while, but it's not like I used to.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was, we were talking about this in January and we were together and because I had that kind of same experience with keto, stuck with it for about a year. And really just felt more like inflammation, like through that year, especially towards the end of it. I saw pictures and it was just like that, my neck and just kind of everything. I was like, man, I don't look great. And then when I went I think I always had these concerns about vegetarian. And as a guy, I think like we all do about just maintaining muscle mass and things like that. But I don't think I'm probably 70-80% vegetarian right now, but I don't feel like it's physically suffered at all from it, which is interesting.
Yeah, I don't feel different strength wise at all. When I was doing the keto, I was strong, but like I always felt sore and puffy. I mean, I was putting, like, what bulletproof coffee is?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was doing that a couple times a day.
Yep.
Like, it's like half sticks of Kerrygold grass-fed butter.
Yes.
It was bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, I would try to get the unsalted version, but man, if I really was like treating myself, I'd get those salted sticks and throw them in there. I mean, dude, it tastes good. I mean,
it tastes really good.
Really good.
Doing up some, sweet potatoes on the skillet, and what would make this better? A pound of bacon. That's what would make this better.
Oh man, I love that. Liz Nye says you're very inspirational. Kevin Rubinick says hi. Scott Mueller, good afternoon. Josh and Dr. Constantine, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining. If you're over on the live audience, feel free to dump some questions in there, man. I'll definitely shoot them his way. Okay, so diet, that's what you're doing. Obviously, you're working out. Anything else in your routine that's been like vital? Like, how do you start your mornings, or do you have a night routine before you go to bed that's more than the supplements?
Morning is usually, just because of how my work schedule is, morning is, getting the workout in. I'm not much of if I were to sit down and do any type of meditation or anything focused in the morning, I would probably end up falling back asleep.
Yeah.
So the main thing for me is once my feet hit the ground, I'm up, I'm moving, and that's when I head to the gym or try to do whatever physical activity I'm doing. And then if I get in anything else in the afternoon, it's just a bonus. In the evening, probably the main things are picking a time where you're going to shut down. Like, no more talking about work, no more doing work stuff after this time, no more answering emails, putting your phone on silent, things like that. But what I've started doing, which at first sounded weird to me, and I don't do it for that long. I think I started with doing like 2 minutes and then 5 minutes, up to 15 minutes now, is the meditation. And basically all that is, it's not necessarily a spiritual thing. It's just sitting in a quiet room, maybe with a fan going, with your eyes closed, and just trying to block everything out. And people talk about visualization as well. And I think for me, it's a combination of meditation and visualization. I'm not a huge philosophy guy, but a lot of that is going back to where you're kind of playing out the person you want to be in your visualization, the things that you want to succeed in, and trying to visualize what your life is like after you've achieved all those things that you want to achieve. And I think it really, to me, at first sounded corny, but it really helps. You walk around with a different type of confidence when you don't look at things as being impossible. You look at everything as being possible, as though you've already achieved them. I think if you can shift your focus, and it takes a lot of practice, but if you can start to do that, it really changes how you attack things.
Yeah.
I think, for me, and this is a simple way of saying, is that someone told me, I don't know if it was a coach or what, one time, but you can't fail unless you quit. And if you attack everything that you want with the mindset that you're going to succeed no matter what, it makes things a whole lot more enjoyable.
Yeah. I love that. Did some of this start, were you one of these guys that had trouble getting to sleep, and so then you started building some of this in, or sleep never been a problem?
Yeah, I've always been a night owl. My brain turns on at night, which Trish frustrates me so bad. She can bring something up, like a topic that's super serious and requires a lot of thought, like right before bed, and then the next thing she does is she lays down and goes right to sleep. You need to stay up and continue to think about it. So sleep has always been an issue. Once I'm asleep, I'm good. I don't wake up in the night, but winding down and going to sleep has been a lifelong challenge.
Yeah. So do you guys, do you have kind of not rules, but do you have boundaries in place of after a certain time, let's not talk work?
We have them in place, but we break them a lot.
Yeah.
Especially with all this stuff going on, because we'll think of something and then we don't want to forget about it till morning. What we need to do is keep a notebook or something beside the bed and just write stuff down if we think about it, and not really bring it up.
Yeah. No, dude, I mean, I think those are the challenges of, especially when you work together, in multiple, facets of life, whether, marriage, but then obviously business and nonprofits and other projects going on. And it also like when you have like two high achieving people in a marriage and you add in all that stuff, it's just like, it's tough. I mean, Joanna and I are the same thing. And so we've had like boundary talks because she can do the same thing too, you know, like bring up something at night. And I'm like, hey, this is like, there's too much emotion around this. You know, like this conversation's starting out up here and I'm like this close to like trying to get down here and go to sleep. So it's been, you know, those have been the tricky parts, is like, when do you have those and when do you not? So I get that. Do you, at night, do you tend to deal with, like, are you dealing with any anxiety right now about the practice and how that's going to recover? Does anxiety hit you at night more?
Yeah, not excess anxiety, because I think, you know, the past year and a half of me really working on those things that I mentioned earlier have helped me to deal with these situations and letting go of what I can't control and taking it day by day. But I think it's natural to have some type of anxiety, especially when you are responsible for employees or team members, because you want them to be taken care of too. And they mean, you know, our team members mean a lot to Trish and I, and we want to see, you know, we want to make sure that they're taken care of during this time. So not knowing a lot of what was coming down the pipeline with the government aid and all of that stuff, it's stressful, you know? And there's really nothing you can do. And there's nobody usually you can get in touch with on the phone. The hold times are ridiculous. You're lucky if you get a call back. Websites are crashing. So, I mean, it's a lot.
Are you more of a control freak? Like, you got to have control, or are you real good with letting go? And
I think many people would describe me as a control freak. I would never say that about myself.
Okay.
But I like to problem solve and get things done.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell me, I want to, we have a couple more minutes here. I want to talk about Smiles on Cancer a little bit. I want to talk about some of your other projects, but you guys started that. What are some of the things you're doing for Smiles on Cancer and, to raise money and raise awareness for that?
What we try to do is just really, so far, get involved with a lot of the events that go on here. So the money that we raise goes towards, we've done some donations to the Children's Cancer Treatment Wing at our local hospital. We've sponsored some fundraisers that we've had locally. We put together some care packages for people at the hospital, things like that. But what we hope to grow it to is to be able to, not to the extent of a Make-A-Wish, but to be able to do something really nice for, you know, the kids undergoing treatment. Like making a not a huge dream, but like something that they've always wanted to do, make it possible for them.
Yeah. I love that. How, when did you guys actually start this? Was it last year?
We started it the beginning of 2019, I think.
Okay, cool. And then I know you also have like the Dr. C brands and kind of building that as well. Like what's your vision for that long term? In the next couple of years.
I think it's mainly just the whole sharing what I know and what I can do to help people through, you know, what we were talking about earlier. Maybe use it as an opportunity to raise more money or awareness for the Smile on Cancer Foundation, to encourage people to, you know, look at dental care in a different way, even. So I think there's a lot of things that we want to accomplish there. It's not just one.
Yeah, cool. And then I know like you've got all these other little projects. Tell me, you've got Constant Smiles. It's a podcast you're doing with Elijah. Is that right?
Yeah.
How's that been going?
It's been going really well. We've started to have a few guests on now. I think just like with a lot of people that start podcasts, the consistency at first is a little bit difficult to make sure that you're going one a week, but it's going well.
Yeah, good. Well, man, 10, since you're talking about visualization, 10 years out from now, it's 2030. What do you see? What's out there for you? What do you hope?
To be honest, man, I just hope that I'm doing meaningful, worthwhile work, not only in the practice, but that I have the opportunity to share what I know to as many people as possible. A lot of those visualization goals I keep close, and for whatever reason I'm not as open to sharing a lot of it, but it all boils down to being able to help as many people as I can and having an impact on people's lives.
Yeah. I love that. Well, and dude, probably the most important question of the day. Are we going to see a little Tootsie slide in the future?
I almost feel like I have to. It's not like I'm working on teeth or anything, right?
Oh man, if Drake comes out with a dance, I feel like you're the guy.
I feel like I have to do it, right?
You're the go-to.
Yeah.
Oh man, did you see that and you were like, "Oh snap, this is gonna happen"? Or
yeah, I mean, as soon as the song came out and I saw I kind of feel that way about any time a new dance challenge comes out. I'm like, man, should I do it? Do I have to do it? I probably should do
it. Have you been keeping up? Like, have you been doing all the dances like when they come out?
No,
Okay.
No. Well, I look at a lot of them because people send them to me. They're like, you need to do this. You need to do this. So I don't know, man. You guys will have to stay tuned. Might be a Tootsie slide coming shortly.
That's fair. Yeah. A lot of Tootsie slides out there right now, but I feel like yours would be pretty epic for sure. So, same thing though, just practice by yourself. Don't let anybody see, right? And
right.
Record it and
right.
then release it to the world. So, well, cool, man. Look, I totally appreciate you being on here. And I know you've got things to run to. You've got a tight schedule today, so I want to let you jump off. But if people want to learn more about you guys or what you're doing, where's the best place they can connect with you?
You can connect with the foundation at smileoncancer.org. You can connect with me on Facebook at Constantine Dental or Dr. Rich Constantine, and on Instagram at Dr. C Smiles and at Constantine Dental.
Cool.
No TikTok yet.
No TikTok yet, but yeah, may release it with the Tootsie slide.
Maybe soon, yeah.
That's a good starter video to be out. Cool, man. Well, look, I appreciate you being here. I'm sure I'll see you again here sometime soon. If you need anything in the meantime, man, let me know. But thanks for being here.